Alright, what's up everybody? Brian here, and this is my Impact Wrestling Homecoming recap and my thoughts on last night's Impact Wrestling Homecoming pay-per-view event. Of course, Homecoming took place in Nashville, Tennessee at the Asylum where Impact Wrestling first started many years ago, back in 2002. They returned last night to the Asylum for Homecoming, so let's get right into it. Overall, I thought it was a really good show. There were a couple of good matches on the show last night that I really liked, that I thought were really great matches. The main event, I thought it was okay main event, but the finish and the ending of it and what happened really didn't care for very much. So, but let's get right into the opening match. It was Rich Swann, Trey Miguel, Ethan Page, and Jake Crist of OVE battling it out in an Ultimate X match for the vacant X Division Championship. This one I thought was a really exciting way to start off the show. All four guys really delivered. If you guys did not check out this show, this is one match that I would recommend checking out if you do decide to find a way to watch this show, this event last night. All four guys really delivered. This was a great Ultimate X match. A good way to start off last night's Homecoming event. Rich Swann would wind up picking up the victory and becoming the new X Division champion. So, a big congratulations to Rich Swann on becoming X Division champion for the first time. We had Su Yung and Allie. They took on Jordynne Grace and Kiera Hogan in a Knockouts tag team match. I thought it was a really good match. I thought Kiera Hogan and Jordynne Grace worked well together as a team. The ending was Su Yung, after Allie hit a code breaker on Kiera Hogan, Su Yung would hand Allie that glove, that bloody glove that she always uses, and Allie would deliver the mandible claw to Kiera Hogan, and that's what picked up the win for her and Su Yung. Afterwards, they would try to put Kiera Hogan in, or Su Yung would try to put Kiera Hogan into the coffin. Rosemary would come out of the coffin and stop Su Yung from putting Kiera into it. She would take out the undead bridesmaids. She would take out Su Yung. Rosemary would then get in the ring and confront Allie. This whole thing with Allie's on the dark side now. She doesn't have a soul anymore. That her soul belongs to Su Yung. I don't know where this is going. She left the ring after Rosemary tried to pat her on the head. So will it be Rosemary that'll be the one that gets Allie back, her soul back? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But Allie and Su Yung victorious last night at Homecoming. We saw Moose take on Eddie Edwards in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This one I thought was a really physical matchup between these two. The ending saw Eddie Edwards pick up the win with the help of his wife Alicia, who used a kendo stick on Moose and then would hand it back to Eddie, and Eddie would use it on Moose as well, and then would hit a DDT to pick up the win. And what I thought was a really physical matchup, and another match I would recommend checking out. Willie Mack took on Sami Callihan. This one actually I thought was really good too. Both guys I thought really did a good job in this matchup. Sammy picked up the win with the pile driver. Couple of the best parts, or one of the best parts in this matchup was near the end of the match. Every time Sammy would hit a move on Willie Mack, he would go for the pin, and Willie would kick out at one and get like this deranged look in his eyes, but then Sammy would hit a big clothesline and then the pile driver, and that was pretty much it. Sorry, guys. We saw Eli Drake take on Abyss in Monsters Ball. This was a good match for what it was. I liked the storyline of Eli Drake wanting to be the one that ends hardcore wrestling and his crusade against ending it. Nothing really exciting for this one. I think one of the main parts was that Eli Drake was going to throw tax at Abyss, but Abyss moved out of the way, and the tax hit the referee. Like I said, but there was nothing really, exciting. Eli Drake picked up the win with using the paddle that he has been using recently, so that's what helped him score the win in Monsters Ball, defeating Abyss. We saw LAX retain the tag titles over the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, in what I thought was a fantastic tag team matchup. This is one match that I would recommend fans of Impact checking out, because I thought this was a really great tag team match between two really gifted tag teams. Afterwards, Conan would come out and praise all four guys. So LAX are still the Impact Tag Team Champions. We saw Taya Valkyrie challenge Tessa Blanchard for the Knockouts Championship with Gail Kim as the special referee. This one was okay, but Gail Kim wound up helping Taya pick up the win and win the Knockouts Championship, because Tessa throughout the match was there was a couple times in this match where Gail, when Tessa had the pin, that Gail would count 1, 2, and Tessa would only get 2 counts, and Tessa felt like those counts were slow, to the point where she kept putting her hands on Gail, till finally Gail was like, enough is enough, and she would hit her move Eat Defeat on Tessa, and that would allow Taya to hit the Road to Valhalla on Tessa Blanchard, and Taya Valkyrie is now the new Knockouts champion. Where this goes, who knows where this is going to go. Obviously, Tessa's not going to like this. She's not going to let this stand. We'll find out. Hopefully we'll find out something Friday night when Impact makes their debut on the Pursuit channel, as well as they're going to be simulcasting it as well on Twitch. So we'll have to wait and see there. Which of course brings us to the main event of last night's show. It was Johnny Impact defending the Impact World Championship against Brian Cage, who was cashing in option C. This was an okay main event. I thought it was a really good match until the end, that saw two of Johnny Impact's Survivor castmates getting involved, and this kind of led to Brian Cage losing, and Johnny Impact retaining the World Championship. So I really didn't care for that finish. I thought they should have just did I just thought that they should have done some kind of a clean finish where either Brian Cage or Johnny Impact won, not having someone getting involved or, but Johnny Impact is still the Impact World Champion. He defeated Brian Cage last night in what I thought was a really good match, except for the whole finish of it. Afterwards, as they were going off the air, Killer Kross would come out and attack Johnny from behind. He would then confront Taya, who went after him, and the show would end with Killer Kross powerbombing Taya into the third row onto a few of the fans, and that was pretty much it. That ended with Killer Kross heading back to the heading to the back. So obviously, there's some unfinished business between Johnny Impact and Killer Kross. But we'll have to wait and see how Johnny reacts to that whole situation Friday night on Impact. So overall, my overall thoughts on last night's show. I thought it was a really good show. Like I said at the beginning, there were a couple of good matches. I thought the main event was good. I just did not care for the finish of it. But overall, I thought it was a really good show and a really good start for Impact as far as 2019 is concerned. So hopefully they continue this momentum of great pay-per-views, great events, and continue from there. So with that being said, if you guys watched last night's Impact Wrestling Homecoming, let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. This has been my recap of what took place at last night's Impact Wrestling Homecoming. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.